An epic road trip teaches you a lot about a car. You'll find out how fast it can go and how well it can tackle a mountain road. But mostly, you either fall in love with the car or you don't. When the time came to review the last Australian-made Holden Commodore, an epic road trip was the obvious answer. We were given an exclusive chance to drive a pre-production Series 2 SS up the Californian coast, and while we were there to test its monstrous new V8, we also, unexpectedly, fell in love with it.
I'm Tom Baker, this is chasingcars.com.au, and today we're coming to you from California's beautiful Napa Valley, where we've come to drive the Chevrolet SS. Now, if this car is familiar to most of you as a Holden Commodore SSV, that's good, because that's exactly what the Chevy SS is. We build it back home in South Australia and ship it over here for the Americans. And they have a 6.2 litre LS3 V8 under the bonnet of this one. And that's important because the Holden Commodore SS will be receiving this larger engine in its Series 2 update in September. So we've come over here to California to see what that new Holden SS is going to be like. And we found out that it's faster, louder, meaner, and even better value. It's very similar fare inside the Chevrolet SS to what we all know and love from the Holden VF Commodore. So that means a really well-designed interior with nice materials up here on the dashboard and a center stack that's based around this 8-inch colored touchscreen. It's really crisp, and the satellite navigation and audio functions are all really easy to use, and the Bose 9-speaker surround sound system in this car is actually really crisp. Although the Chevrolet SS is pitched as something of a premium sports sedan in the US, so it gets some stuff that we haven't seen yet back home, like these individual front seats here, which are much better sports buckets. They've got better bolstering here and these sort of metal accents, but we may well see these seats coming into the Series 2 Holden SS in September. Nothing has changed in the back here from the Holden SS. It's still a very large Australian car, and that means plenty of room here in the back. I'm sitting behind myself, and you can see just how much knee room I've really got. And I've also got adequate headroom as somebody 6'0". Now, they don't sell the station wagon version over here, but there's never been an issue with room in the sedan, and you can fit 3 adults sitting across, although this tunnel to let the drivetrain through is quite tall. The biggest gripe with the boot of the Holden Commodore sedan back home is that it still doesn't have folding seats, and that doesn't change here on the Chevrolet SS, although there is a fairly generous pass-through allowing you to put skis or other long narrow objects in, and the boot does open via the key fob, nice and wide, and there's 495 litres of space in there, meaning 2 big suitcases is absolutely no problem. Get behind the wheel of the Chevrolet SS and it really is all about that fantastic engine, and this is the 6.2 litre V8 that will be powering the Holden SS Commodore from September of this year. So this car drives exactly like the new Commodore will, and thankfully it also sounds exactly like the new Commodore will. Holden currently uses the 6 litre V8 in its SS Commodore range, making either 260 or 270 kilowatts of power, depending on the transmission. And we've said time and time again that this engine is really not on the pace enough and it's too quiet. Well, the Chevrolet solves all of those problems. The 309 kilowatt, 563 Newton meter LS3 V8 under the bonnet of this thing is both menacingly loud and seriously quick, delivering 4.5 second sprints to 100 over our time with the car. If you opt for the 6-speed manual, which is a no-cost option over here, that takes the acoustics even higher, and we feel that you're just able to get more out of this car than with the standard 6-speed automatic as it is here in the United States. Although it does have a bit of an impact on your discipline when it comes to fuel economy, as over our 9 days with the car, the best figure we managed to get was 11 litres per 100 kilometres, and that was on a countryside run. When you're in town, it really is closer to 20 litres per 100 kilometres in consumption, which is really, really bad, obviously, although the low cost of entry when it comes to buying a car like the Holden SS goes a long way to offset your fuel costs. And the manual really does its best to try and help you save fuel. It has this weird quirk where it tries to force you to jump from first to fourth, and that's kind of an odd thing for somebody that drives a manual. It doesn't always feel like the best thing to do to the engine. However, it's quite forceful in locking you out of second and third there, and I haven't found a way to override it. The Chevrolet SS also rides really well because it has General Motors' magnetic ride control system built in, and it really is the best manifestation we've seen of this system. It swallows up the bumps on the bad back roads over here in California and just has this gorgeous seamless ride on long highway runs as well. And it's not too noisy in the cabin, although those large chrome wheels on this SS do mean that tyre roar is a bit louder than we'd like. But the magnetic ride control is another feature that we're really hoping that we'll see in the Series 2 Holden Commodore SS.
It might have been masquerading in Chevy clothing, but there's no doubt that this is a Holden. Sure, it's printed on the manufacturing plates, but you know it from the soul of the car. Nobody else makes a big, fast, comfortable and luxurious sedan at such an approachable price point. Not even Ford's XR8, which can't stand up to the incredible quality of the VF Commodore. When the Holden comes to the end of its road, it will be too soon and it will be a shock, because nothing did bang for your buck like the Holden SS.